Okay, Janet,
Yes.
Chuck, Joanne,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Yes.
and I am a yes. Next, we have an extension permit, Chuck, filed by Joanne Scott, SE 19-782, and I am a yes. Applicant proposes next 3-year extension for the order of conditions filed by Joanne Scott, 19-782 for a rock applicant proposes property located at extension 49 Long Street Lane, map 10, parcel 343-782 for a rock revetment at property located at 49 Long Street Lane, map 10, parcel 343. I guess we usually give, and is there anybody here to speak to this, or? Okay. So we usually give, sorry, hold on. Is there anybody here to speak to this, or? Okay. So we usually just still trying to work out communications, I guess. Hold on 1 sec, please. Still trying to work out communications, I guess, with, okay. So, 3-year permit. Anybody have any questions or concerns? Okay. From the commission? Okay. So, 3-year permit. Anybody have any motion to approve? Concerns from the commission?
Move to approve.
And a second, please.
Second.
If we could have a motion to approve. Okay. Janet?
Yes. Move to approve.
Joanne? And a
Yes.
second, please. Greg?
Second.
Yes.
Chuck? Okay.
Yes.
Janet? I am a yes.
Yes.
Joanne? Okay. Next, we
Yes.
have a certificate of compliance filed
Yes.
by Maureen Puches, SE 19-1848, for the replacement of an existing elevated of community beach stair by a property located at 15 and 19 Bayberry Lane, map 13, for the replacement of an existing elevated community beach stair, a property located there this morning for a site visit. So map 13, parcel 150 and 151 comments. And we were from that out there
No, the
this morning
stairway was
for a site visit.
completed,
So
and
I
it
think
looks
I'll
like it was done according to the
ask Greg if he wants
specifications.
to make any
I have no
comments.
problems with it. And
from that.
the growth,
No, the stairway
vegetation on the bank
was
is fine.
completed, and it looks like it was done according to
Anybody else?
specifications. I have no problems with it. And
Okay,
the
so we're
growth,
looking
the
on this
vegetation
one.
on the
I
bank
think
was
we
fine.
should include some ongoing conditions. Anybody else here? Okay, so we're looking on this one. I think we should include some ongoing conditions. Oh, here, I've lost my notes on this. Apologies. All right, hold on one. Okay. Oh, so looking for lost my notes on ongoing conditions. Apologies. For number 34, which is maintenance. Number 35, stairway nourishment, and number 36, sand nourishment required. For number 34, which is maintenance. Number 35, stairway nourishment, and number 36, sand nourishment. So we might have a motion to approve with ongoing conditions, number 34, 35, and 36. Thoughts? Okay. So we might have a motion to approve with ongoing conditions,
35,
number 34, 35, and 36. Okay,
Move
is there a
to
second?
approve with ongoing
Second.
conditions number 34,
Okay,
35,
Joanne?
and 36.
Yes.
Yes.
and I am a yes. Greg? Next, we
Yes.
have certificate of compliance, Janet, filed by John Mason, SE 19-1897, and I am a yes. For the reconstruction of existing pier, ramp, and float, filed by John Mason, at 20 Cedar Lane, map 21-7, parcel 059. For the reconstruction of remember that pier, ramp, previously gave a partial certificate of compliance, Lane, we're waiting map for the 21, parcel 059. And that you will remember that we previously gave a partial certificate of compliance. We're waiting for the shellfish. The town distributed the shellfish, so that has been for mitigation are complete. Applicant purchased the shellfish. We could have a motion. The town distributed the shellfish, so the issue addition certificate of compliance for SE 19-18. So if we could have a motion.
Move to
Issue a full certificate of
give a full
compliance for SE
certificate of
19-18.
for SC 19-1897. Give a
there a
full
second?
certificate of completion
Second.
for SC 19-1897.
Yes.
Chuck, there's a second?
Yes.
Second,
Joanne,
Yes.
Greg, Janet,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I am a yes. Chuck?
Yes.
Next we have a
Joanne?
certificate of
Yes.
compliance filed by
Janet?
15 West Road
Yes.
LLC and
I am a yes.
19-135 for the construction of a bulkhead property located at 15 West Road, map 04, parcel 481. This is a filing for an old bulkhead that has since been replaced by a revetment. So we're just looking here to clear out the application. We were out for a site visit, but not much to see. So if we could have a motion to, anything from anybody on the commission on this? Okay, so if we could have a motion to approve the certificate of compliance filed by 15 West Road, SE 19-135.
Move to approve the certificate of compliance for 15 West Road, SC 19-135.
And is there a second?
second,
Okay, Joanne,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Greg,
yes.
and I am a yes. Okay. Next we have is a continuation of certificate of compliance filed by Paula and Charles Pochi, SE 19-1905, for the demolition of an existing dwelling and construction of a new dwelling, septic system modification, and town water line at property located at 735C, Campground Road, map 07, parcel 324C. And that Jason Ellis, I think, is at Town Hall. If you want to just give us a quick overview
Yes, I'm here. Can you
of
hear
what's
me?
going on. Yes.
So, Jason Ellis representing the Coaches. We got approval for basically removing the existing house and rebuilding the house and some septic system modifications and installing water lines. So there's 5 cottages on this property, all of which have a common septic system. So it was a pretty significant project that we got approved. After getting some prices on what the septic system upgrades were going to be, the coaches decided to back down from doing a lot of the work that they were proposing. So they ended up just basically doing a remodel of the existing house. So nothing was changed on the footprint or on the ground. Everything was done up above. There was a porch that was finished off into a year-round room. And there was also a little landing that was put on the back that kind of goes within the footprint of the proposed deck that was on the original plans. So that little landing is really the only thing that increased on the ground on the property. So there's a significant amount of the work was never completed and will not be done. So that's what we're asking for a compliance right now. So
Okay, so we were out at the site this morning, and we did note that that egress was not part of the original filing, and the air conditioner condensers and their location was not part of the original filing. So just wanted to note for the record that we do ask for a plan change to be submitted if the work isn't going to be done as permitted. I think
yeah, I'd given Alex
that
an
was-
as-built plan with the with that new egress landing on it and the 2 air conditioning units on the west side of the building.
right.
That just shows
And-
the difference. So
Right, and we do have that. I'm just noting that that was not permitted in the original.
okay.
And I think it's for me, it seems pretty minor, so I would be okay doing the certificate of compliance, just for you to note for the future that you do need to do a plan change for this kind of thing. So I'm just going to ask if there's anything from the commission on this. Okay, so if we could have a motion for a certificate of compliance. Sorry, I lost my. If we could have a motion for a certificate of compliance for SE 19-1905.
You don't need any-
Um,
you don't need any-
I'm sorry. Did somebody make a motion?
I thought Chuck did, but if he did,
Okay. it's
he's
hard
not coming through clearly.
Chuck, you have to be closer to your microphone, I think.
I don't know what's going on tonight, but anyway, I move that we approve.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second,
Janet?
yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes,
Greg?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Next up, we have continuation of certificate of compliance filed by Nathan Nickerson, SE 19-1795 for the removal of 40 locust trees, 3 black cherry trees, piles of brush and debris, invasive plants and vines, and regrading of the slope between the new house and pond at property located at 20 and 30 Adams Way, map 11, parcel 187 and 188. And the applicant has asked that that be withdrawn. So if we could have a motion to accept the withdrawal.
Move to approve the withdrawal of the certificate of compliance for SC 19-1795.
second,
Okay, is there a second? Okay, Janet,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Joanne,
Yes.
Chuck,
yes,
and I am a yes. And next we have is an extension request filed by Nathan Nickerson for SE 19-1795 for the removal of 40 locust trees, 3 black cherry trees, piles of brush and debris, invasive plants and vines, and regrading of the slope between the new house and pond at property located at 20 and 30 Adams Way, map 11, parcel 187 and 188. And this is, I understand, mostly for the planting plan and to establish and maybe plant additional plants. Jason, do you have anything
No,
you want to add on this?
no, that's exactly it. We're just giving Nate another year to let those plants fill in and establish themselves a little bit before we request for the certificate of compliance again. So.
Okay, and your letter asks for a 3-year extension?
Yeah, just in case some of the plants don't take or something, we need to replant some or whatnot. So.
Okay, any questions from the commission? Okay, we could have a motion to approve a 3-year extension for SE SE 19-1795.
Move to approve the extension of the certificate of compliance for SC 19-1795.
Is there a second?
Second.
Joanne,
Yes.
Chuck,
yes,
Greg,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
and I am a yes. Okay, next we have continuation of notice of intent filed by Cape Holden Realty Trust. Applicant proposes to construct a new family dwelling at property located at 339 Dyer Prince Road, map 19, parcel 111. Applicant requested a continuance until December 9th, 2025. If I could have a motion for this.
Move to continue to December 9th, 2025.
And a second.
Second.
Joanne,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
hold on, there's a question first before.
Okay,
Alex,
this
is that you?
Alex. Yeah, just for the record, I think you misspoke and said an extension of the certificate of compliance instead of order of conditions.
Oh, for SE 19. Okay. For Nate Nickerson?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Did I? Okay. We need to redo that, I suppose. Okay, we need a motion for an extension extension of SE 19-1795 for 3 years.
So moved.
And a second?
Second,
Okay. Janet,
yes.
Joanne,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. I guess I was moving a little fast there. Okay. Where are we? Okay. So we were going to vote on the continuation of the notice of intent for 339 Dyer Prince Road, and there was a motion and a second, and I'm just going to ask people to re-vote on that. Joanne,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Okay. Next up, we have continuation of notice of intent filed by Michael Nargi and Carrie Picard. Applicant proposes to demolish the existing dwelling and guest house, construct a new residence, install a plunge pool, construct beach access stairs, a snowdrift fence, proposed mitigation, and septic system upgrade at property located at 435 Shirtlift Road, map 07, parcel 142A.
Good evening, Madam Chair.
Oh, before we start, I want to note that Chuck Wagner was absent for the last meeting on this matter. He has not corrected that absence, so the quorum tonight will just be Janet, Chuck, Joanne, and I.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
How about Greg?
Oh, and Greg. So it will be, what did I say?
It won't be me.
It won't be you. It'll be Greg, Joanne, Janet, and me. Okay. My apologies. Okay. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Ben Zender, and I'm here on behalf of the property owners, Mike Nargi and Carrie Picard. And with me are our project architect, Kendra Seaford, as well as Sean Riley from Tie Bond Engineering. And I don't know, Madam Chair, if you have Ian Peach in your waiting room, waiting to be let in.
I have let him in like 4 times, but I will.
Okay.
He is. I don't have anybody in my waiting room.
Well,
I
that's
don't
okay.
see him in the meeting either.
Well, with your permission, Madam Chair, I'll go ahead without him and see how far we get.
Okay,
so
you could ask him to try again.
Yeah, we will. But
Okay.
At our meeting of at the meeting of September 9th, we had another fairly comprehensive vetting of the project, and we agreed to come back and provide additional vegetation on the west side of this property to sort of convert some of the yard area on the west side between the structure and the top of the coastal bank to vegetation. So what Ian has done, and you should have as part of your package, a revised Wilkinson ecological design plan dated September 12th, in which what Ian has done is he has added 29 Virginia rose, 10 sweet fern, providing a total of 102 native shrubs, and that shrubbery is all in the area between the home and the top of the coastal bank. And if you look at the plan, you'll see that entire area of additional screening, which reduces the area upon which you'll be traveling or walking, and provides vegetative buffer as well as habitat in that area. And I believe, and I'll let Sean Riley address this, I believe also the deck may have been cut back a tiny bit to provide some additional vegetation. With the chair's permission, I'll let Sean speak to that.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Sean Riley from Time Bond. Yeah, the deck was cut back several feet to add more buffer between the deck and the coastal bank. I believe we're up to 12 feet now between the deck. The closest point of that wall, the original wall, was 3 feet. So we pulled that back. We've also pulled back the yard, as we discussed when we drew that line down the page and said we'd bring the buffer back into the yard. So we've provided that as well.
So, Madam Chair, I'm hopeful that with those changes that we discussed at the last meeting, we're in proper form for the board to vote on the request for the order of conditions. And thank you all for all your time in this project.
Okay, so we were out for another look this morning. So I did note that off the angled edge of the deck, that you did extend the vegetation out another 2 feet. So that's about 4 feet now. Is that correct?
Correct.
And we had talked about making a no disturb zone.
Yes. We can definitely designate any of those areas as no disturb zones. As you know, that we'd have to come back before you anyway for any clearing or vegetation or any work within the buffer zone. So it would be fine to declare those as no disturb zones as you see fit.
Okay, we were thinking from on the bottom of the site plan, from where the pool starts all the way around to the end of where the lower gravel driveway is, all around on the bay side.
Okay, around the deck and then around to where the pool is.
Around from the pool around to where the gravel driveway is in the lower area.
I'm assuming the chairman is the northerly edge of the gravel driveway.
Yeah, northerly edge. Yes.
Going in a clockwise fashion from where the pool is, from I'm assuming from the easterly edge of the pool, around in a clockwise fashion, around past the beach stairs, around to the northerly edge of the gravel driveway.
Yes.
Okay, Sean, is that okay?
Yeah, it's again, this is mitigation, so these are intended to naturalize in perpetuity. So,
and we're fine, Madam Chair, if the board sees fit to vote, we're fine with making this condition upon us providing a supplemental plan to staff, identifying that as no disturb zone.
Okay. Alex, your hand's up. I think it's Alex.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, since Ian Peach is having issues joining the meeting, Steve LaBranch is in person. And so if the commission has any questions for Wilkinson, perhaps Steve LaBranch could answer those.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay. Any questions from the commission? Okay. I do want to note that we did receive letters from abutters. I have lost on my screen again. There we go. Okay. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, so we have a butter letter from Lisa Mancini at 380 Plateau Avenue in Eastham, and she, I'll just read them as there's two. To the members of the Eastham Conservation Commission, pending site plan approval 435 Shirtlift. Although the address of the home we own is at 380 Plateau Avenue, our house is on the corner of Shirtlift, and we are direct abutters, as the bay side of our house sits almost directly across the street of the Nargi Picard property. I have watched via Zoom the last 3 Conservation Commission meetings during which this project was presented for approval. While the willingness of the firms representing the Nargi Picard project to quickly make revisions requested by the Commission is notable and positive, I do have one concern. During the meeting on August 26th, Commission Chair Karen Strauss requested a plan drawing which reflects the size dimensions of the proposed house and garage. This request was also made by Commissioner Benjamin at a prior meeting, and I believe at least one other time before that. I find it odd that this very responsive team has yet to provide that information. I am perplexed by this, as the packet for this application submitted by Ms. P. Associates to the Eastham Planning Board includes drawings which depict proposed elevations and floor plans with dimensions sheets A 15. I do support my neighbor's endeavor to replace their well-worn cottage with a new beach house, and the renderings are very nice. However, I also share the sentiment expressed by Chairwoman Strauss during the last meeting on September 9th. This house seems too big for the actual portion of the lot on which it will be built. I am not an engineer or an architect, but from what I am able to ascertain, it seems that the square footage of the proposed house and large 2-car garage guest quarters is 3,899 square feet. An additional 786 square feet of unused attic space is not included in that total square foot figure. I urge the Commission to require the submission of the requested size dimensions for the review prior to voting on the proposal. Why I know it's doubtful that the owners would consider downsizing the proposed house unless it was a condition of approval, is my hope that the consideration would be given to at least downsizing the garage to a large 1-car size with quarters above as built next door at 425 Shirtlift Road during their recent rebuild project. Thank you for your consideration of my input. And then the second letter this is from Lisa Pratt at 355 Plateau Avenue. To members of the Eastham Conservation Commission, I am the owner of 355 Plateau Avenue in Eastham, which is at the corner of Shirtlift and Plateau, just a few houses up from the proposed tear down and rebuild of 435 Shirtlift Avenue. I have attended or watched the months of meetings at the Conservation, Planning, and Historical Committees. During recent discussions, I understood that some members of the commission expressed concern about the proposed size of the new structure and noted that the professional representing the homeowners had not provided specific dimensions. I share that concern and would like to bring to your attention that the planning board packet, they give a link, submitted for this project includes some dimensional details and a discussion of square footage. With regard to the feeling that is proposed home and 2-car garage feels large, there is a table on page 79 that shows the size of the homes in the surrounding neighborhood, and an analysis of 24 surrounding homes shows that the average size is 1979 square feet, making the proposed new home at 3,896 square feet, according to page 59, almost double the size of the neighborhood homes. The difference between the existing and proposed structure, along with the comparative neighborhood data, underscores the significant scale of the new construction relative to its surroundings. Given the fragile ecosystem of the area and the community's ongoing efforts to preserve the natural dune landscape, the proposed size of the new home feels disproportionate and potentially disruptive. The character of the neighborhood is defined by its modest homes and sensitive environmental setting, and it is important that any new development respects and reflects these values. I respectfully urge the Commission to consider these factors carefully as you review this proposal. Thank you for your attention to this matter and for your continued stewardship of Eastham's unique coastal environment. And that is our abutter letters. I don't know if Bennett, you or Sean would like to reply to any of that. I do know that
I mean, I think those are concerns more properly addressed to the planning board, scale and massing concerns.
Right.
I can't remember whether we provided dimension drawings, but this project is the exact same project that was presented to the planning board with dimension drawings. We can't present different plans because we need both of your approvals to build the house. Mm-hmm. So if maybe if those concerns have been shared with this board, earlier in the process, the board would be in a better position to consider that. I think we're hopefully, I hope we're at the end of this. I don't have the planning board figures in front of me, but I can tell you that this house is the third largest house in the neighborhood. It's at about 7% site coverage, where the average is about 6% site coverage. We also, and this is a little bit more of a planning board idea than a conservation idea, there are really two types of houses in this area, those that have been rebuilt and those that haven't been rebuilt. So when you look at the ones that haven't been rebuilt, it's a little different. I think the Conservation Commission's mandate is to look at this project and see how it relates to the resource, and also what we're doing to make it a better project than what's there right now. And we talked extensively at the last meeting about removing all the structure from the floodplain, getting everything away from the lower part of the lot, consolidating on the upper part, and then also mitigating heavily the effects of this project. So I'm hopeful the board is still in support of the project as presently presented. And again, I thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you. I will also note that size and massing generally is a planning board issue and not under the jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission. Okay. So any other abutters or anybody in the audience who wishes to make any comments, please make yourself known. Alex, is that you?
Yep, this is me again.
At EMR? Okay.
Yeah. I was notified by the health department that they also received some updated plans, and the one they received is dated after the plan that the Conservation Commission received. I just want to confirm that the two plans are in fact the same.
They are.
Okay.
They are the same.
Yep.
It just reflects the changes that we made throughout.
So it doesn't seem like we have any more questions from anybody. So if we could, we're noting that we could have a motion to approve, noting.
Janet has raised her hand.
Oh, sorry, it's a little hard to see you. Go ahead, Janet.
Yes, I did ask for plans a couple of times, and I thought it would be possible to get them. Plans showing the present dimensions and then overlaid with proposed dimensions. I'm also, as I stated in another meeting, concerned about the subsurface drainage with a basement in the new proposed home and with the pool. And not knowing those dimensions, I can't adequately evaluate it. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I've got it.
Okay. Chuck?
Yeah. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. First, I agree with the suggestions that the actual internal square footage of the house is outside our purview. The question is the overall impact, and the change in overall dimensions of the surface coverage compared to the old place is slightly more than negligible. So I really don't think that it's that big a problem. It's a 3,000 plus square foot plan, but it's also on a full acre of land. There are many, many pieces of property with bigger houses than that on much smaller pieces of land. So I really don't think it's a problem. And the septic system and roof runoff is set up to go into dry wells the way we had requested. So there shouldn't be a problem with drainage. Those are my comments.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
As I understand, I think Mr. Wagner's not available to vote on this tonight, and I think you have four. I think you have 4 members available to vote tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So I would ask the chair to take a straw vote, because what I don't want to do is run headlong into a denial. So would the chair be willing to just poll the members as to how they're going to vote? Because I may ask the board, if we can't get a majority to vote for this, I may ask if Mr. Wagner could review the prior meeting, and then we could come back and have him be available to vote on this as well.
Okay, it's not our practice to do straw votes. But I think you've heard it's not our practice to do straw votes.
Well, no, I understand, Madam Chair, but with every board that I work with, I kind of feel like this is a cooperative process. We don't want to. I don't think either one of us wants to run into an appeal because of a vote that we didn't see coming. So I know that's not a regulation as to how you handle it. It's better for us to have feedback from your board as we have throughout the process about what you think is important and what we need to do to try to manage the project, but also where the vote's going to go. So if we don't have 4 votes to approve this, I need to know that and ask for a continuance, and hopefully Mr. Wagner will be able to review the tapes and sign the waiver and be available at the next meeting.
Okay, I will ask if they want to share that.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Joanne?
Am I answering your question, or did you call on me because I came off of mute?
I called on you to answer the question.
Oh, so we're taking the straw poll.
If you want to. This is
the official, unofficial poll.
The official, unofficial.
I generally am satisfied with the compromises we've made in the discussion of this project. I appreciate, as Chuck mentioned, many of the upgrades that are going to occur to this property. I agree that the change in the square footage is generally relatively small. While I do believe it would be helpful to have the dimensions, I agree with you that that's more of the planning board's purview, so I would be comfortable approving the project at this time.
Greg?
Yeah, I agree with Joanne. I would, I'd be comfortable approving the vote at this time.
Good. Janet, you,
Um, I appreciate the changes, many of the changes, especially the increased mitigation, but I'm still not comfortable with voting for it.
and that leaves me. I think you made the changes that I asked for at the last meeting. I would prefer it if the house were smaller, but I think I'm in favor.
Okay, so Madam Chair, as I see that now, Alex, maybe you could help me. I think we have 3 votes on a 7-member board with 4 people sitting tonight. So I'm not sure.
Unofficially.
Yeah, well, no, thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, again, I'm just playing, best game that I can here. But
Right.
I appreciate that.
I understand that,
So-
and having a 4-person quorum is not
It's
the best.
difficult. So, I think what I'm going to do is request a continuance. If Mr. Wagner is available at the next meeting and can review the tapes and sign the waiver, I think that's what we're going to have to do.
Okay, but if he doesn't, we're still going to vote the next meeting. Is
Well,
that agreed?
Well, I'm not agreeing. No, I want to see where we are next meeting. I just, again, and what I will do is I'll provide you with the dimension floor plans as well, which hopefully will help one of the members feel more comfortable with the project.
Okay.
So what?
So if you're going to come back in our next meeting, which is that October already? October 11th.
Okay. I'll request a continuance, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Rob McPhee here. We're the builder and architect with these plans, and I just wanted to chime in and just add a little bit of, I guess, question and flavor to this. The mass and the sizing as has been brought up is really a planning board review. Conservation's the sustainability of the environment, which we've worked greatly to try to accomplish all of the requests of the committee. And we've done a lot of effort to try to highlight all of the benefits that this proposed project would bring to that property compared to what it is today. Mm-hmm. And whether you had scaled floor plans, which are public information for the planning board's application, so anyone that really was curious in the public can go and look at that, as some of the attendees on this meeting tonight have done. The engineer has gone through great lengths with his site plans to show the current coverages, the footprints of the current structures, the bocce ball court, the retaining walls, the walkways, and the proposed home with the attached garage in the comparison of calculations, the new septic location. It seems to me that it's not, whether the scaled floor plans are there or not, it's really not relevant to the Conservation Commission's jurisdiction, in my opinion. It's a planning board discussion. It has been gone through, and it's all public information with the planning board. We're here tonight for the environment. This is, I think, our 4th meeting. Every time we leave one of these meetings, we come away with a list of changes that we continue to adapt to and come back. I understand it's pushing the envelope for some people's level of comfort, but I think people are losing sight of the great value that this will bring with the new septic system, bringing everything out of the flood zone territory, removing that detached structure, condensing it all to the best possible portion of this property, over an acre of land. And I just think that the commission really ought to think about that. And we're getting hung up on floor plans. The footprint is there. The information is there.
Thank you, Rob. Madam Chair, Madam Chair, it's Ben.
Yeah.
If I may, and I'm going to address this to Member Benjamin's. If we come back in 2 weeks, what's going to happen is Carrie and Mike are going to pay me to be here. They're going to pay the environmental people to be here. They're going to pay the architect to be here. They're going to pay the engineer to be here. They're going to spend an order of thousands of dollars to come back and get a quorum of vote. If Chair Benjamin is willing to vote in the affirmative, we can make it also an additional condition that we file the dimension floor plans with the with staff. I can assure you that the exact same floor plans that the planning board approved, they have to be. And also, it's not going to change the way the house is represented on the ground. And it also doesn't change the boxes that we submitted showing all the square footages of everything that's encroaching. So I'm going to make one last plea to see if the board can get 4 members to vote for this. And if I can't, then I'll request a continuance. But Carrie and Mike have been gutting through this process for a long time. So.
Right. But
please?
brief. please.
Yes. The quorum just establishes the ability to make a vote at all. Without a quorum, we can't vote on anything. But if there is a quorum of 4 people and 3 of them vote in favor, then it's a majority and it's approved.
I'm not sure about that. Alex,
That's correct.
Yeah,
It's the majority. The
I would
majority
agree
of
with that.
okay.
yeah, the majority of the people sitting in the quorum,
Okay. Well, I'll rely on
and
that
that would
then.
be
Okay,
that would be
I'll
3.
rely on that, Madam Chair. Then if the commission would go ahead and take the vote, that would be great.
Okay. All right. So if we could have a motion, and now I've gone and lost my notes again. Sorry, it's just that kind of meeting. Okay. Yeah, so if we could have a motion to approve for 435 Shirtlift Road, the project as currently proposed with the addition of the no disturb zone as discussed during the meeting and special conditions for single family dwellings and landscaping. With well, hold on, with the note that the new plans to be submitted with the no disturb zone delineated after the meeting. Go ahead.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Joanne?
Yes.
Janet?
No,
Greg?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Thank you all. As always, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. And all right, and now we're up to minutes. The minutes of August 26, 2025. Everybody's had a chance to look. Everybody submitted correction that they had to Amy. If we can have a motion to approve the August 26 minutes.
move to approve the August 26 minutes.
And is there a second?
Second.
Greg?
Yes.
Janet?
Yes,
Joanne?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. And before we continue, Amy, I know why you had your hand up, and I caught it after I said the date. So.
Oh yeah, that was before. Yep.
Right. Okay. All right. And now we have violations. Alex, you want to take this part?
Sure. Well, we've got, so as the commission knows, I think it was at our last meeting in August, Mr. Nickerson was here to speak to the dock at his property. This evening, we do have Mr. Ellis with us as well to speak this to, so that perhaps I'll give Mr. Ellis the floor.
So, Jason Ellis representing Nate Nickerson. Nate and I discussed the situation with the dock. He understands that was put in there is bigger than what he was approved for. So he's going to be removing the dock shortly here for the season. And then when it goes in again next season, it will be for the dimensions of the dock that he was approved for by you folks. And I believe Alex has all the information he needs for the issuance of that order of conditions. I'm not sure if he's issued it yet, but that administrative side of things should be taken care of at this point too. So, Nate apologizes, and when the dock goes in again next year, then he'll be in compliance with the size that he was approved for. So.
Well, it's more than that. The dock was put in without a final permit being issued. So he had no actual permission to put the dock into the pond.
Yeah, that was more my fault that he thought that he was approved with everything because he knew that the hearing had been approved, but he didn't realize that the paperwork wasn't finished yet. So
Well, it's his responsibility to see the paperwork and have the order of conditions and before doing any work.
Yeah, he understands that. So, and he apologizes. So, I think he was just excited docking for the summer.
Even though it wasn't permitted, and even though he ignored our regulations in terms of the configuration.
Yes, and he apologizes. He's going to correct all of that. So.
Well, I'm actually in favor of having you remove the dock now, as it is still unpermitted till the permit application is signed, and it is even if the permit is signed and issued, it still is out of compliance with what we approve.
Yeah, he's removing the dock. He's just waiting for the people that remove it to come get it. So
what is the date by which the dock is going to be removed?
Well, in like a week.
A week, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like a week.
Okay.
He's just waiting for them.
Comments from the commission on this?
It's just their busy season right now, and he's just has to get them down to come pull the dock out. So
we had somebody put the dock in as well, and they did it without seeing the permit.
Yeah, I don't think the dock companies normally look at the permits or anything like that. They just deliver what they've been told to deliver, kind of thing. So.
Well, if they're putting it in the water, it's their responsibility to read the permit before they do any work. It says specifically in the permit that everybody who is going to be working on the project is required to read and follow the conditions.
Okay. So noted.
Well, I'm in favor of issuing a fine here, but let's hear what anybody else has to say. Greg, you want to go first, or not at all?
I don't know. I think maybe a stern warning at this point.
Janet?
A modest fine.
Joanne?
I'm happy either way. I think it's good that the dock come out immediately, and I just want to clarify we wouldn't be issuing anything or moving forward on this until it's the correct dock is in place, right? There's no further action unless we are issuing a fine.
Well, I think the action is that he is taking the dock out within about a week, and a permit will be issued as the missing site plan with the missing information has been submitted. We haven't actually, I don't believe, signed the permit yet, so it still does not have a permit.
So we'll have to see this again, right? Come next season?
No, because a permit, we did agree to issue a permit. The information contingent on having a revised site plan that included information about the upland storage of the dock.
Oh, so we already
and the procedures to remove.
Okay.
But we hadn't yet, that hadn't been received, so a permit had not been issued, and Nate jumped the gun and then also reconfigured the dock to something we do not allow.
So we're still waiting on that site plan before we can approve.
So we approved.
Contingent
on the site plan. Which Alex says. Alex, is that your hand up? Alex says,
yeah, if I may.
Yes, please.
So the order was prepped and ready to go, and Amy, correct me if I'm wrong. Signatures have been signed. We were just waiting for the updated plan, which we have received from Jason Ellis. So the order is ready to go at this moment.
Okay, so technically then you have to mail it out. There's the window for appeal, and then it becomes active.
I think we already mailed it out.
Did you? Okay.
Yes, I believe it's already been issued.
Okay, so, all right, who didn't I hear from? Chuck?
jumping the gun is excusable to me, but I'm in favor of a modest fine because you jump the gun with a dock that was knowingly out of spec. So permitted or not permitted, it's not the size that we all agreed to.
Okay, Janet?
Yes, I had already said a modest fine.
So a modest fine being what? Alex?
I just wanted to mention that Mr. Nickerson is here and would like to speak as well at some point.
Okay, well, why don't we have him speak and then we'll get back to the discussion.
Nathan Nickerson, 30 Adams Way, through the chair. Just to let you know what happened there. When we were putting in the dock, it occurred to me, and I'm always a day late and a dollar short, it occurred to me that if we doubled up one section, I could put a table and chairs on there, which would really be really nice so that we can enjoy that pond. I've got 40 feet of frontage and I'm only allowed 6 to 8 feet of access. So, and I pay a lot of taxes for the privilege of that 40 foot of access. So, yeah, I did that and I did it without permission. And today, with the way things are going, I'm asking for forgiveness for that mistake that I made. On top of that, I just wanted to remind you that when we were building the house, which is not part of within the 100-foot setback, the septic system was approved out back towards the pond. But the town asked me to, health department maybe, it's been a few years, asked me if I would consider moving it out front, getting it further away from the pond. Putting it out front would, it wasn't a great, it wouldn't have been a great deal for me because if there's any work to be due on that septic system, the whole front lawn's going to have to be torn up, and it's pretty nice where it is right now. But I did it. I did do what the town asked me to do. On top of that, there were 2 lots there when I bought that land. There could be 2 houses there right now. Easy, no problem, and there's not too much the Conservation Commission could do about it because there were 2 separate lots. They would have their input. I'd have to comply with what their requirements were, but there could be 2 houses there. There's just one, and there'll always be just one because I combined the lots. I've been in this town for 74 years contributing to this town in best way I can, trying to be a decent citizen. I find it's just personal, in my opinion, but I find that suggesting a fine for me is beyond the pale. I find it insulting and poor form. And I would ask that you reconsider in light of what I've done at the town's request and in the name of environmental responsibility, because what we have now is a whole lot better than what we would have had if someone else bought that land, some speculator built 2 houses on it. They could have made a lot of money. But there's going to be one, and that's because of me. The dock, I understand you have rules and regulations, and I ask again for forgiveness. Finding me is not forgiveness, but there's no environmental damage putting that dock in there, so it's not as though I had done something that would harm the environment, although wrong, and I admit it. I think I'd like you to reconsider that fine because it's just not right. Thank you.
Okay. The dock is a separate matter from previous
I understand that.
permitting and when we looked at the size of the dock, it almost seems like there were extra parts ordered that made it
Extra what?
the size it was. And anyway, but yeah, I'm still in favor of a modest.
Yeah, there was
Fine,
one
yeah.
post. That's the extra in that one post.
Mhm. There were no extra dock panels.
Well, yeah, that's what we're talking about, that one extra dock panel.
So you had to have ordered that extra dock panel
Yes.
after we permitted. So
Yeah, and I admitted that.
uh-huh.
I admitted that. I didn't do it. There was no preconceived notion to get an approval and then slip in another dock if that's what you think. That didn't happen. I looked at it as they come from New Hampshire to put this thing in. They had to come back for another piece that they missed. And I thought it was an ideal time to expand it. Although I didn't get permission. To get permission would have taken, as everything else I've asked for, months and months and months to get permission from you people. So,
Well, you wouldn't have gotten permission on this because our dock regulations are pretty specific as to maximum square footage and length and width.
yeah, but you also offer a, what do you call it? You also offer the opportunity of a variance, right?
Not for something like this. This would, I don't believe, meet our requirements for under our waiver provisions.
Well,
And our dock regulations are very specific as to size, length, square footage, width.
understood, but it's an arbitrary figure. It's something someone came up with no basic environmental facts behind what that's an arbitrary figure, not based on science at all. That's correct? Is that
No,
correct?
but we laid out the reason why we did that in the regulations and had a public hearing during which time we would have taken comments in favor or against. But as the regulation is in place, this is what you have to follow.
Well, I've
And
voiced
it's not up to you to change what the regulations are on your own. Certainly,
I understand that. I understand that. Okay, I'm all set. I'm done. I don't want to alienate you people any further. Fine, whatever, and I'll pay it.
Thanks, Karen. I was going to say, I can hear the some remorse in Mr. Nickerson's voice. I feel like there's no moral or ethical judgment here. It's kind of like you get a brand new car and you speed a little bit because you're excited about the car. So it sounds like the dock went in early and a little bit bigger than it should have been because he was excited. But just as if you were caught speeding in a car, even if you didn't mean to, you still have to pay the fine. So I think without further judgment beyond that, there were rules that were broken and probably a small fine. I don't know what Alex thinks, but like, $50 or something.
Oh, 100 would be our minimum.
$100, whatever that is. Just because I see this kind of as the same as speeding. You got excited, you broke the rules, and now you pay the fine, and then we're done.
No, we recently issued a $100 fine for somebody else who installed a project without being permitted, jumping the gun.
Yeah, that sounds fair to me.
Well, Madam Chairman,
Yes.
this is probably ignorant of me, but I was obviously ignorant of the rules and regulations. I guess in hindsight, I should have studied them a little more carefully. I should have inquired with my engineer what the standards are. But I had no earthly idea, and I've been in this town for 74 years. I had no idea that, and this doesn't mean anything, I know, but just so you know, I had no idea that if you get an approval from the Conservation Commission for a dock, that doesn't mean you have approval for a dock. That means you have approval for a permit for a dock. And that's where it gets a little cloudy and it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but that's why, as you say, I jumped the gun. Yeah, excited. I wanted the dock. It was a dream of mine. I wanted a dock badly. And I realize that I'm very, 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 very lucky to be someone who can, in fact, have a dock on their property. So none of this escapes me. What I've done and what I need to do, I understand completely. So I'll pay the $100, and whatever else you need me to do.
Right. I just want to say that you've been before us before, and we've been very exacting in what we've asked of you in terms of when you were putting sand on the revetment out at Shirtlift, when we were permitting your house and your landscaping, the work that you did, and the discussions we had prior to permitting on this house project. So you would understand that we have standards that are and requirements that must be met, and you know that from experience. So having said that, would somebody like to make a motion on this?
I would move to issue a $100 fine.
Okay. Okay, and with the dock being removed,
With the
would you
dock,
like?
with the condition the dock is removed within the time period Mr. Nickerson stated previously.
Is there a second?
Second.
Janet?
Yes.
Can we hold that for a minute?
Yep.
Alex, did you have something you wanted to add before we vote?
I just wanted to confirm the time frame the commission would like Mr. Nickerson to remove the dock. Mr. Nickerson indicated about a week. Is that right? So that would be
Yeah.
September 30th, correct?
Yes.
And
Did
if
he leave? I would think if it goes more than 2 weeks, I would have a problem.
okay.
If it goes more than another week beyond the week that he said it would be done.
So 2 weeks would be October 7th. Okay.
Would,
Yeah, so why don't we say no later than October 7th?
Thank you.
okay, so if you wouldn't mind.
I move we issue a $100 fine with the condition that the dock is removed no later than October 7th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Greg,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes,
Janet,
Yes.
Joanne,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Okay, so we are done with that. And Alex, you want to talk about 150 State Highway?
Yes. Okay, let's see. So we are still issuing the $100 a day citations to 150 State Highway as the fence is still in place. We do have a court date scheduled for October 2nd, I believe. I don't have my calendar in front of me. But we will be, pursuing that in court. I also reached out to 150 State Highway after receiving notice that a portion of the southernmost dock is broken off and laying in the fringe salt marsh that goes along the shoreline of that property. I did reach out via a letter dated August 27th. This was included in my email to the commissioners, requesting that a written plan for the removal of the gangway be submitted to the Conservation Commission within 30 days of receipt of this notice. That 30 days is around probably this meeting. I think an argument could be made that this could be addressed at our next meeting too, but needless to say, we have not received any contact from Mr. Bedoukian regarding the removal of the gangway from the salt marsh. So that's where that stands.
And then the injunction?
And then the injunction, KP Law submitted, that's our town council, a letter to Mr. Bedoukian regarding the fence. This was also sent out with my email to the commissioners, outlining that he was issued an enforcement order from the commission on May 15th, 2025, ordering for the removal of the unlawfully constructed fence. Since he did not appeal that enforcement order, town council gave Mr. Bedoukian 7 days upon receipt of this letter, and mentioned that the commission reserves the right to initiate a lawsuit against Mr. Bedoukian in court, if this isn't addressed.
And we were out there today, which is 7 days from when he should have received the letter, and the fence which was actually 8 days.
Correct. Yeah.
And the fence was still there.
Yes, there has not been any action on Mr. Bedoukian's part to address this. So that's kind of where we stand currently with this violation.
So it seems like we need to make a decision on whether to go ahead and get an injunction. Doesn't that seem where we are?
Yes, that could be where we are. I can also reach out to KP Law with an update that this is something the commission would potentially be interested in pursuing. I can also add this to the agenda for the next meeting for us to discuss that further.
You all in favor of that? Discussing it at the next meeting? Well, he did say he wouldn't remove the fence without a judge telling him to.
That is correct.
I think maybe he's holding to that. Okay, so that's where we are on violations. Liaison reports. Janet, anything from CPA?
Yes. At our meeting, we had an annual public hearing, which, of course, since it says annual, we have once a year, and reviewed the 5-year plan and our other plans. We had a committee reorganization. Mary Shaw is the chair, Dan Koppelman the vice chair, Joanna Buffington the clerk. And at our next meeting on October 1st, Mary had asked Rich if he will speak about the wastewater project, because the CPC committee is considering committing $600,000 to it. And the wastewater project is critical to open space and housing being developed. Also, in terms of projects that we have funded, all the money that we committed to the town hall was spent. The account, we had our final report, and the account is closed. The Schoolhouse Museum the project has been finished, but we have not received a final report yet. Minister's Pond is outstanding, and the 2 kiosks are up in the Wiley Pond area. As I was driving by today, I saw one of them on Herringbrook Road, and they're really attractive. I'll have to stop and look at it more closely. So our next meeting will be on Wednesday, October 1st.
Okay. Can you explain, because I'm curious, how is wastewater required for open space?
That it would be cleaner. Now, this is what we're going to find out, because some people had questions. I am thinking, but I am not positive either. That's what was stated, that it is to also help keep the wastewater clean in open space areas. But I'll find out at the next meeting.
That seems like a stretch under what CPA describes as for open space.
I think that may be one reason Mary wanted Rich to come in and talk about it.
I do have a picture of the kiosk I can show if you guys are interested. Give me 1 second to pull that up. I think it's in my. Hiding in my text. No, I guess I thought it was. All right, I guess not. I can email it to you guys after the meeting because I can't find it. But I'll email it to you guys after the meeting because it looks really cool. Okay, so let's see. Open Space Committee is meeting on Thursday at 2:30. So Janet shared about the kiosk, so I don't have to do that. Yeah. So open space, I don't have anything to add. I'll have something at the next meeting. Strategic planning presented the strategic plan to the select board last night. The select board has adopted the strategic plan. You can find it, the final version or the draft final version, because Kayla's still making it pretty for the final version, on the strategic planning page on the town website. So Jackie O'Rourke, who is in the community planning department, community development department, has created a dashboard for the committee, which will enable us to better monitor and update the plan over time. Committee members will be liaising with staff who are assigned to specific projects on a quarterly basis to get updates. And then as the OSRP and the climate action plan are completed, those action items will be discussed and added into the strategic plan as well. And we are going back to having the strategic planning committee offer input on warrant articles again for town meeting, starting with the 2026 town meeting. And that's all I have for that. Education and training. MACC is doing a lot of fundamentals classes right now. So if you're interested, please take a look and let Amy know. There is a lunch and learn on wastewater tomorrow at 12:30 from MACC, not wastewater, on stormwater at 12:30 if anybody is interested in that. And but at noon, sorry. Checking my calendar. That's all I got. Anything from anybody else? Right. Oh, okay. Well, thanks everybody. And if we could have a motion to adjourn then.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, good. I like it as a chorus. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Joanna?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Janet?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
See you
everyone.
soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Night.